Satanism. To most, it conjures images of medieval black masses or sinister deeds done for the devil. Must expose all the evil being done in the name of Satan.
Hello, hello, my beauties and bees. How's my, excuse me, how's my audio? Hopefully it's sounding all right. It looks a little low, though. Am I coming to the right? Yeah, looks like I'm coming to the right microphone. Hey, have to do my sound check live, but I don't got anybody to bounce it off of. Well, welcome to 14 News. I'm your host, Bree McCune, and today we have a lineup of great stories to fill in the next hour for you in the name of Satan. Yes, 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 ma'am. Hello, hello, and welcome to the people watching this live. If you want to watch this live or join us watching this live, we are here every Thursday night, giving you the 14 news from the week. This week we have a lot of stuff lined up for you. We have the return of time-traveling Trump. We have the further development of the capturing Bigfoot debacle, in which the Patterson-Gimlin was footage was exposed as an alleged hoax. We have a new Bigfoot body that's going to take the world by storm, or so they say. I'm still a bit soft. Okay. I think I can fix it. Go all the way up here. Yeah, there we go. That should be much better. All right. And then we have Representative Paulina Luna is here to talk to us about the UFO file. So we'll get into that. And then if we have time, there's been a rash of Bigfoot sightings in Portage County, and we're going to talk about that. That's in Ohio. All right. So without further ado, let's dive right into the news. All right. So our first story, I'm sure you all remember, it's been a little over a year ago, I think, this was when this really hit the newsstands, but this did a fictional 1800s book series about Barron Trump, predict Donald Trump's presidency. Some people sure think so. So this is not news. This is not new news. And trust me, there's new news to talk about here. But the Tyler character is a book series is introduced as a wealthy boy who lives in Trump Castle. Yeah, so it's a story. And you know, the correlation is not causation. But yeah, it's a Barron Trump collection. There's a collection of stories by Lockwood Ingersoll. Donald Trump rides an escalator. Oh, yeah, it's just telling us what the picture is. People are drawing a parallel between President Donald Trump and a 19th century book series about a wealthy time traveler. Ingersoll Lockwood's Baron Trump novels were originally written between 1889 and 1893. They resurfaced in 2017 when people noted the similarities between the book's titular character and the real-life estate baron, who coincidentally has a son named Baron Trump. Oh, hello, Seth. Hello, Aunt Jor. Let's see, where was I? The collection of books consists of 3 stories: Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and his wonderful dog Bugler, Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, and The Last President. The character is introduced as a wealthy boy who lives in Trump Castle, similar to the president, who has a penthouse in Trump Tower. In the first 2 books, the character travels through time with his dog, Bugler, and meets various people from different cultures. The final book, however, focuses on the rise of the controversial U.S. president. According to the synopsis, the country is torn by division and dissent, and there are references to a hotel on Fifth Avenue in New York, where Trump Tower is located. The president-elect is described as an outsider who causes a chaotic atmosphere. Politico wrote about the book series' newfound popularity in 2017. The titular character was described as someone who can't stop talking about his brain and once successfully sued his tutor, alleging that they owed him money for everything he had taught them. Despite certain characteristics of the Baron in real-life Trump being similar, such as the ability to spew insults, unwillingness to try new foods, and an inflated sense of I guess it's probably supposed to be a sense of self, inflated sense of self, I would say. Wow, this is People magazine too. Finding typos with them. I like the word titular. It has the word tit in it. Me too. Very good observation. Unwillingness to try, and per Politico, the comparisons pretty much end there. Yeah. Conversations about the books have continued into 2025, with people making similar comparisons. A recent video shared on X claims that the books have an eerily similar story to what we're seeing today. The narrative says that in the books, Baron Trump has a mentor named Don, which he related to President Trump's first name. Another video recently shared on TikTok, my tongue's a mess today, on TikTok dives into a time travel theory, going as far as to claim that the books are proof that Trump is a time traveler. More recently, Joe Rogan explored the cemetery. I told you my tongue is insane today. The similarities in the January 28th episode of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. After reading the synopsis in a series, Rogan said, "Is life real? I think life's mostly real, but this is the problem with the whole idea of simulation theory. If it's true, if there is a simulation, and if we develop technology where the simulation becomes indiscernible from reality itself, how will we know? Maybe we'll know from goofy clues like this, like silly coding Easter eggs." Yeah, so that's how it would happen. Be Easter eggs left with history. Finding these sorts of parallels in popular culture is nothing new. This kind of reminds me of, the Simpsons thing, which is going to refer to, but also all the way back to the Kennedy and Lincoln correlations and stuff. For example, the Simpsons have often been credited with predicting the future, most recently with Kamala Harris's presidential run in July 2024. Show writer Al Jean highlighted a 2000 episode called Bart to the Future, in which Lisa Simpson, dressed in a similar outfit to Hillary Clinton, is in an episode where the cartoon character became the first female president of the United States. Previous episodes also seemingly predict Richard Branson's trip to space, the historic January 6, 2021 insurrection, and Cypress Hill's July 10th performance with the London Symphony Orchestra. Executive producers and showrunners Matt Selman told Deadline in 2022 there is a method of prediction, but keeping the show fresh is still the team's greatest creative challenge. Luckily, the world keeps delivering things that need reflecting on in Springfield's mirror. So that's a thank you to the world, but also the world needs to do better, he explained to the outlet. Perhaps the same can be said about the Trump books, about the Barron Trump books. So why is this news? Why are we talking about this today in 2026 when this has been tread over since 2017, almost a decade? Because, yay, new conspiracy stuff just dropped about time-traveling Trump. Mysterious Trump airships appear in the 100-year-old sketchbook, sparks time traveler theories. A wild theory claims President Donald Trump, this is from the Daily Mail, by the way, so you know it's good. Trump's airship appearing in a 100-year-old, where was I? A wild theory claiming President Donald Trump may be a time traveler with clues scattered through art and literature for more than a century. Sketches of futuristic aircrafts drawn by artist Charles Delachaux, a Prussian immigrant who came to the U.S. in 1850 and died in 1923, mysteriously contain the word Trump and even feature the number 47, the number of the president of the U.S. has had. Yeah. Okay. Before his death, Delachaux created depictions of fantastical flying machines that he called accurse, which often resembled a mix of early airships, balloons, and primitive airplanes. However, conspiracy theorists have seized on the repeated appearance of Trump's name and the numbers associated with both the term in the White House as the 45th and 47th commander-in-chief. The extraordinary theory has also been connected to an old novel by Ingersoll Lockwood from the 1800s. Yeah, we just talked about that, in which features a character named young Barron Trump, who embarks with his mentor Don. The Lockwood books, let's just rehashing all that. Let me see what we just went over. While some claim the artist and author have some mysterious method of knowing the future, others have claimed without evidence that these similarities prove the Trump family has time travel technology and use it to influence world events. One person on social media claimed either Trump is a time traveler or someone put a 200 years of work to make a guy who wasn't even born yet look like he is one. All right, here's the artwork too. Let's look at them. So we got this one. Looks kind of like a train. I think it's a train. There's a little conductor guy on the front of it. Looks like it is on tracks with these wheels and everything. And it says Trump right there. And it's got red, white, and blue stripes behind it. And Trump's written in gold. I don't know how well that's coming through. But yeah. So there's that one. And then we got this one. And this is the one with, it says arrow up Trump. And then there's a 45 down there, which is 45th president. So that's the conspiracy there. All right. And then that's just a picture of Trump, of the Trumps. Here's another one. It says Trump right there. It's Houston, Texas. World's dumbest family definitely does not have time travel technology. I mean, call it like you see it. Absolutely, I'm here for that. Call it like you see it. All right, and here's the book's covers to Barron Trump. All that jazz. All right. According to the American Visionary Art Museum in Maryland, Delachaux's fictitious arrows were powered by an anti-gravity substance he envisioned called NB gas, non-binary gas. They're going to drain the NBs and use them to fuel their airships or soup to enable them to fly without normal fuel. The technology is eerily similar to descriptions of UFOs, which the government calls unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAPs, and the president has vowed to disclose to the American people during his term. Delachaux's sketches include one showing a golden-haired figure steering a machine labeled with number 45. Another links to Trump serving as the 45th president, or number linked. Okay, and then the mystery surrounding the Delachaux sketches has sent conspiracy theorists searching for every possible clue that Trump and his youngest son Barron could have traveled through time. One quote that has gained attention is Trump saying, "I know things that other people don't know," both during his 2016 presidential campaign and after he won the White House. Trump's past comments on nuclear power have also raised eyebrows, and the president has claimed that his uncle, Dr. John Trump, would explain the power of what was going to happen, and he was right. Celebrity and podcast host Logan Paul, we gotta give Logan Paul all the credit, right? Logan Paul has even asked Trump's granddaughter Kai about the Lockwood books and whether it was proof that the human race was living in a virtual simulation. The teen said she was certain that Barron was not a time traveler, adding, "I don't go down rabbit holes. I don't even want to go down those rabbit holes." The mystery grows even stranger when conspiracy fans begin to examine Lockwood's connection to the time travel theory. He was an American political writer and novelist who wrote 2 children's books titled Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Adventures and Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bugler. However, Lockwood also created the ominous political tomb, The Last President, a story which opens in New York City right after the election of an enormously unpopular candidate. The 19th century author wrote that police officers shouted through the streets as mobs of vast size are organizing under the leader of anarchists and socialists and threaten to plunder and despoil the house of the rich. The houses of the rich who have wronged and oppressed them for so many years. Eat the rich. Is this that guy saying that? All right, I'm going to hear him. Let's hear him.
At Kindred Bravely, we design maternity and breastfeeding essentials that feel like they were made for you. Because they were. Wherever motherhood takes you, we're with you. Every step, every
We're going to
stage.
breastfeed. Oh, braw's coming out.
There's a lot of other details to the Donald Trump time traveler conspiracy theory, but what I want to focus on is this newly discovered book. So the other day, a post pops up on 4chan about this book. I know what you're thinking. It's 4chan, right? It's got to be a hoax. That's what I thought, too. So I'm going to show you this book. It's a book written by a man called Ingersoll Lockwood. The name of this book? Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, and here you can see a drawing of Baron Trump and his dog. See, Baron Trump, this character Baron Trump, who I will note is spelled different from the Baron Trump of anime fame. Baron Trump stars in a number of books written by this author, Ingersoll Lockwood. These books include fantasy stories of Baron Trump and his dog going on adventures, including things such as time travel. Now, seeing this on 4chan, obviously the first assumption is this is either a hoax or somebody just made it as a joke, right? But then you look up the book and the author, and these are real books that are hosted on both the Library of Congress, and you can buy a hard copy on Amazon.
Just like The Simpsons. Yes, that's Wang.
I'll put links in the description. And this can still all be explained away various ways. I mean, you see the picture, the drawing of Little Baron Trump. Kind of does look like, our Baron Trump. Except, you know, it's a
Wang
very
is great.
sketchy pencil drawing, which can kind of look like
I couldn't agree more, honey.
anybody you want it to look like to some extent. And any child maybe has a childlike face. Then there's also the possibility that Donald Trump had heard of the book before and simply named Barron after the character. Considering that the book bears his name, it's very likely that somebody at some point in his life brought it to his attention. And although it's kind of a weird coincidence to have a character named Barron Trump in the late 18th century, especially since Barron Trump is kind of an unusual name.
Yeah, late 19th century, but yeah.
There's a much more weird coincidence slash potential prophecy in another book by this same author entitled The Last President. Yes, The Last President. Now, the book The Last President opens up describing...
Alright, let's just recap what we just read. Alright, so that's the ongoing latest chapter in the time-traveling Trump conspiracy. We have now paintings. Nifty little paintings, so... Hell yeah. Alright, for our next story, we're gonna pop back over to... This is, Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods is like a very staunch Bigfoot believer. Guy had an encounter. First let me tell you. Okay, Cabin in the Woods. All right. So we look at, and I've covered him on Life in the Hive before. So he comes up a bit because he's a pretty prominent, pretty prolific Bigfoot person, except he wasn't always a Bigfoot person. You see, back here, this was a homesteading channel. See, homesteading, man versus stone. But homesteading channels are a dime a dozen. But then something happened, right? Then, yeah, see, homestead YouTubers are lying to you. Yeah, but you're a homestead YouTuber too, so, you know, building his house and stuff. But then they had a encounter. I don't know which video it is, or allegedly had an encounter with a Bigfoot in the forest. And then from here on out, that's become the focus of the channel. And he's a very staunch, true believer. And of course he did, when the Patty Gimlin footage came out, he did his own video.
Gimlin Bigfoot film has finally been conclusively proven to be a hoax, thanks to a newly released documentary. But the evidence and details say that they're wrong, and I'm about to show you exactly why.
I can't explain.
Right, talking about Bill Munns. And he refers back to Bill Munns, who was a SFX artist and costume expert, right? When I was a kid, like in the 80s and stuff, I was super into like what they call practical effects or SFX, where you like you use latex and spirit gum and all sorts of stuff. Also doing costume designs and set designs and all that cool stuff that a lot of it's done with CGI now, but it used to be done with practical effects. My favorite guy was Tom Savini, just to give you a perspective of the kind of stuff I was in. I was like into like schlocky horror. Obviously, I'm a goth girl. I like schlocky horror. So Tom Savini was the guy I liked. Stan Winston's another one. He's he made the alien suit and everything. So all these costume designers, right? Bill Munns is one of these guys, right? And because Bill Munns, just this one guy, this one costume designer, thinks that the Patty Gimlin suit is so spectacular, Cabin in the Woods is just hitching all his wagons, or all his horses, or all his wagons to that horse. Ugh. All right. But
in this documentary constitute the final nail in the coffin of the poor old Patterson Gimlin film. Pretty scary stuff if you're a Bigfoot believer and Patterson Gimlin film enthusiast. At least it seems like scary stuff based on how a lot of people are reacting. Now, full disclosure, I haven't seen the documentary myself yet. It's not publicly viewable.
Glad to see that you're sleeping better. Zebra.
Well, it's only been showed at a handful of screenings thus far. But I do have some very detailed insider information from a number of people who have not only seen it themselves and reported back to me, but
see, I wanted to put a new documentary on your radar called Capturing Bigfoot. I am a friend with the owner and have seen an early cut. The film conclusively debunks the Patterson-Gimlin footage, including an admission from Gimlin himself. It's a shocking revelation for the community.
Also, in one case, a guy who's actually in the documentary and has seen...
Yes, this doc is what I was referring to, and apparently are pushing the hoax conclusion. The film is getting a lot of talk right now.
The evidence presented in it as well. After long and detailed conversations with these folks feeding me this insider information, I feel I have a very thorough understanding of everything in this documentary pointing to the idea that the Patterson-Gimlin film is a hoax. And the bottom line is, based on my current understanding, that evidence...
Okay, so, it's fine and good. He can have his disagreement with that, but he did decide to address Eric, who we watched last week on this program. And Eric actually saw the video. That's Hairy Man Road. When I publish this as a standalone, that'll be in the links down below,
if you haven't already. So, like I hinted at, I'm seeing a whole lot of claims being repeated over and over and over again all across the internet.
I just got out of the premiere of Capturing
This is Eric right here, right?
Sasquatch, and it, without a doubt, shows the Patterson-Gimlin footage to be a hoax.
And chances are, if you're at all interested in the Bigfoot phenomenon, then you've seen many of those same claims. Maybe you're even one of those Bigfoot enthusiasts who's completely bought into the blanket claim.
Oh, honey, I'm not a Bigfoot enthusiast. I'm a cryptozoologist. This is professional for me. So, not just an enthusiast, honey. Yeah. Folklore, zoology, where they meet right here, motherfucker. Yeah.
It's just because they've been repeated so often. Maybe you don't even know what the claims in this documentary actually are yet. So let me shed some light on that to begin with.
All right. So he goes on to call out "There's Truth is Scary for Fiction." I know them. I watched their channel. Got Truth Seeker.
All the claims I'm seeing, well, they're being repeated.
We got The Sneezing Monkey. Dave Wants to Know.
With a whole lot of confidence.
There's Eric's.
But not sufficient substance behind them.
Not sufficient substance behind the
behind
the documentary that you haven't seen, sir. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to watch any more of his, just to give you an idea where he's standing and what his agenda is. He's like, yeah, I got to disprove the debunking of the Patterson-Gimlin footage. My channel is now a Bigfoot channel and very dependent on that. So, Eric did finally, I should say finally, he did come out with a response. There we go. So, we are going to look at the Cabin in the Woods challenge.
With Hairy Man Road here, back sooner than I thought, honestly. I spent a good portion of the day yesterday answering messages and comments. Some pretty awful and deranged messages and comments from people.
I don't see John Hudson in the chat too much when I do shows outside of my Saturday morning slot. Sometimes he shows up. I think he's always busy working.
People that are just attacking me for simply stating what I saw in the new documentary.
I know exactly what it's like to state what you saw and get attacked by a community. I know very much what that's like. So, I empathize with you, sir.
Capturing Bigfoot. And it seems like a lot of the hate is coming from the legacy Bigfoot celebrities that they don't want to accept the facts. And they're on the attack right now, it seems like. And they're saying some really dumb things.
I am so sassy today. You all are lucky you're not getting a very different stream. Just to be clear about, the stuff I'm choosing to talk about today. So the stuff I would love to be talking about right now. Well, actually, I wouldn't love to be talking about it. There's some things that I would love to throw out there. But I'm going to stick with capturing Bigfoot.
Of course, they haven't seen the documentary. That actually requires some research and work. But they're saying things, and they're spreading misinformation. Like I saw some people saying, Patricia Patterson is not in the new documentary. She's absolutely in the documentary, and she admits that the 67 footage is a hoax. They're saying that Bob Gimlin is not in the new 66 found.
Yeah, they're like people claiming that it's the psyop, and that the guy there's a paid actor playing Bob Gimlin in the video.
Footage in that it's a actor playing Bob Gimlin. No, it's absolutely Bob Gimlin, 100%. You can actually see his face really clear. He's looking right at the camera and smiling. It's 100% Bob Gimlin. And I think the dumbest thing I've heard these people say is the new footage is AI generated slop that they're using in the new documentary. And that's just really dumb and stupid. And it's obvious that this is from a 1966 Kodachrome 16 millimeter film, and they actually have a film.
Okay, so that has not come out yet, Big Zebra. So there is new film and new footage with Patty, the suit, but a different person than Bob Hieronymus wearing it. And Bob Gimlin and Robert Patterson and Bob Gimlin are there in the footage as well, but it hasn't been released to the public. It's been playing at movie festivals. Now, I trust Eric though. I trust this person's not gonna. This person here, based on their content and my experience with their content, I trust them to be honest with me about what they saw in that video. My self-control is on fleek, right? Yeah. Well, I have a second channel where my self-control might come unhinged. I've been thinking about posting something on there for a while now. Yeah. My self-control. But yeah, I trust what Eric's saying here, and I believe that, he's being honest about what he saw when he watched the film.
Forensic analysis that takes place in the documentary. And you would know that if you watch the documentary, but unfortunately, a lot of these Bigfoot personalities they decided not to use their money that they've generated selling merchandise, speaking engagements, and even selling tours to different Bigfoot locations. It's a shame that they didn't use that money and come down to Austin and see the documentary. Instead, they're just...
I would have loved to have gone to Austin and seen the documentary. I am pretty far from Austin right now, though. I know I'm right by the Texas border right now, but Austin's on the other side of the state. I've been to Austin. I've traveled from here to Austin, and from Austin to here, and it takes, a good while.
Up information that has really no bearing on the documentary itself, and really kind of sad seeing these people that you watched, 10 years ago on these cable network stations, how far they've fallen. And I can see why they're fighting so hard. It's because their revenue streams are drying up. They're not going to get that call from the cable networks anymore. Hey, can you come talk about the Patterson footage? That ship has sailed. And they just can't accept that. They're having a really hard time accepting that, to the point where they're making personal attacks on people. And that's just really sad.
Yeah.
I also...
It's to the point where they're making personal attacks on people because making personal attacks on people who said they were a witness to something, that they just went to the theater and saw this movie, and people are like literally attacking this individual as a person. No, this individual as a person because he said he saw something. Which is ironic when you're talking about the Bigfoot community, right? Someone reported seeing something that I don't think is no.
I also want to talk about a video I saw recently, and it's a video by the channel Cabin in the Woods. I believe it's ran by a man named Robert Maxwell. And he just put out a video basically doubling down, saying there's no way the Patterson footage could be a hoax and that the documentary is just a complete, I don't know what he thinks.
I mean, we just watched some snippets of that, but that's what it comes down to.
And honestly, I wouldn't have a problem with that if it was coming from a place of sincerity, if I felt like he was being honest in what he was saying, and he didn't have a bias or a motive to say one thing or another.
He leans really heavily on Bill Munn's throughout that whole thing, on Bill Munn's SFX experience.
But then I looked at his channel, and he has not one, not two, but he's got 7 videos saying there's no way the Patterson footage could be a hoax. You've got stuff like Bigfoot proof, 3 ironclad reasons the Patterson Gimlin film is real. Or Bigfoot is real. 6 reasons the Patterson Gimlin film is off. As
you can see, Cabin in the Woods is very heavily invested in the Patterson Gimlin footage being real.
Authentic. And who could forget? Bigfoot proof, why it wasn't a suit in the Patterson Gimlin film. So needless to say, I think he might be a little invested in the Patterson film being authentic, and it's not. And obviously, again, this is someone who is deciding to speak on this without seeing the documentary or the new footage inside of the documentary. He just took it upon himself to protect his brand, which I can understand that. But
all right, let's jump ahead.
Good thing that we get the truth finally after 60 years. We get the truth. This was a hoax. That it's a suit, 100%. And I think some people will eventually.
I believe when this documentary comes out to the public that we're all gonna be like, yeah, that's the same suit. That's the same suit.
I see the documentary, agree, and I am expecting some apologies, and I would like to issue.
Never count on apologies, Eric. They're never gonna come. People don't like to admit they're at fault for anything ever. All right, so that's our status update on this whole feud. We'll cover this as things come out, and we'll keep you up to date on the capturing Bigfoot situation as well as things unfold. All right, but in the meantime, if you're really, really wanting some straight up Bigfoot action, I have some news for you. The Bigfoot Dax specimen is here. Alleged Bigfoot body found in the Adirondacks. Look at that. New Bigfoot body in the Adirondacks. These pictures are from March 18th. And where did the video go? Hold on. Now they got him in a display case where kids can take their pictures with him. So, brand new Bigfoot body on the scene from the Adirondacks, and his name is Dak. I guess that's for Adirondack. His head he doesn't seem all that big, really. His head seems big. Does he missing his feet? I don't see any feet. Did the critters eat his feet? Oh my. Looks like a hairy Klingon, says in the comments. That's somebody's drunk hairy uncle. It's Robin Williams. He's been exhumed. All these folks. Do they have any videos of him though? Let's see. Videos. I thought there was a video. I thought I had a video. There's the Bigfoot remains. Here we go. Yes. So we're found. Let's read the description here. Found. Dak found in the Adirondacks Mountains, verified by the Six Nation Indian tribes of New York, Mohawk, Oneida, Aurora, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca. International media coverage, including a Japanese documentary, DNA, at the Cornell University Veterinarian Bio-DNA Lab proved Neanderthal lineage. Oh my! So this is a Neanderthal now. A Neanderthal in North America. Go figure. They made a tourist trap instead of calling Cornell University, right? And I mentioned Cornell University, but what did Cornell University say about it? Right? All right, so DAC found, and this is from March 21st, DAC found decomposing in the Adirondack forest in the Adirondack Mountains. There were 2 size footprints found by the body, indicating possible altercation with another large Bigfoot. So there were Bigfoots fighting. Bigfoots fighting at this national forest. They were. That's where we found the Balcom bone, reproductive bone. Yeah, a Balcom is the penis bone. Fun fact: raccoon penis bones were sold as toothpicks. This music is unbearable. Oh yeah, I'm glad it's over. Sorry, I didn't know it was gonna be that loud. DNA was processed at Cornell University. The results indicated that the specimen is 58.5% Neanderthal Denisovan, meaning it is a humanoid. A humanoid is a shape, not a clade. So anything that's got like 2 arms and 2 legs and walks upright is humanoid. This means human shaped. Proof of human evolution. The body has been viewed firsthand by 60,000 people. The body has been verified by Japanese scientists and the Six Nation tribes, because the Six Nation tribes are famous for being able to identify Bigfoot bodies. But yeah, it's not. Is it refrigerated? Is this case refrigerated? I would hope so if it's actual meat in there, if it's actually a dead body. But I'm pretty sure we're looking at like a taxidermy project. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the first showing of the body due south at the New York State Fair. So yeah, this is like a state fair attraction. That's what you do with a rare animal species that you find. You put it on display in a circus instead, or at a fair instead of taking it to a scientist. Dak's 8 feet tall. He doesn't look 8 feet tall. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, that lady's kind of small, though. I would go see it, though. I'd go see it. Anyway. Yeah, so that's Dak. Showing the baculum. The baculum, reproductive bone anomaly, a discovery that fundamentally redefines the understanding of Bigfoot biology. The presence of a baculum is characteristic of mammals such as polar bears that engage in instinct-driven aggressive mating. The biological marker suggests that Bigfoots do not form human-like family units or emotional bonds. The adaptation aligns with nomadic and migratory existence, proving that the species operates on a primal instinct rather than social cooperation. Oh my gosh, there's so much wrong with that. Okay, so wrap your brain around this. All apes have a baculum except us. Isn't that wild? Yeah, even our closest relatives, like chimpanzees and gorillas, they all have a baculum. Humans lost that trait secondarily and depend more on a hydrostatic erection function, basically, like a horse. But most mammals do have that. It's not a sign of, what do they say, aligns with nomadic or migratory existence. No, like all... And yeah, there's primates that live in more close-knit family units than we do, and they all have baculum too. Even the gorilla, which literally lives in like a little harem society, has a baculum. So no, it does not mean migratory nomadic existence. It does not mean operating on primal instinct instead of social cooperation. None of that is true. None of that is real. None of that is real about mammal biology or ecology. So that's why you come here for your cryptozoology, and you don't go to people like Bigfoot remains to get your updates, because I will never lead you astray. All right, next up, and our top story for the show is going to start right here. So let's start at alien.gov or aliens.gov, because they've both been purchased by the White House. The domains will come, this domain comes less than a month after President Donald Trump has said that he would order federal agencies to release the government files related to extraterrestrial life. Yeah. 2 newly registered federal website domains, alien.gov and aliens.gov, were drawing attention after records show they were created this week by a U.S. government agency, fueling speculation as questions around UFOs and extraterrestrial life return to the spotlight to distract us from the Epstein files. But I digress. I'm always digressing over here. The timing is notable. The domain surfaced weeks after President Donald Trump said he would push for the release of government files related to UFOs and extraterrestrial life, reigniting debate over what the information the federal government has kept classified. As of March 19th, neither one of these websites are live. They're still not live as of March 26th today. Visiting the URL simply results in an error message. It's still the same. Get the same results right now. So we can go to and you get that. Oh, so that checks out. Still doing that. Here's what we know at the mysterious new domain. Why did the federal government create alien.gov and aliens.gov? As of March 19th, the federal government has not provided information on why the 2 domains were created. In a statement provided to USA Today, March 19th, not today, but this when this article is written, White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly said, "Stay tuned," including an alien emoji after her message. The Pentagon did not immediately respond for comments but about the domain when contacted by USA Today. So this spins into this. And y'all remember... Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to close that. Hold on. Yeah. Into this Anna Paulina situation. Anna Paulina Luna issues update on UFO files, releases very serious. The U.S. Representative Anna Paulina Luna offered an update on the Trump administration's plan to release government information related to aliens and unidentified flying objects during a recent podcast experience. Hello, Twang. I missed Can I Pet That Dog? Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago. It was fun, though. All right, so we're not going to just read this here, though. We're actually going to jump ahead to... This is the interview with Jillian Michaels.
So that's why I'm looking into it.
I appreciate that. Okay.
The Alien Files. I mean, okay, this has been going on now for decades, arguably kicked up to a greater degree after we dropped the bomb on Japan.
What did that have to do with? I don't know if it kicked up after we dropped the bomb on Japan. It kicked up after World War II because people were seeing Foo Fighters. They're strange craft in the sky, and black triangles, which were actually test flights of stealth bombers, were also part of the problem. It compounded.
But then there's evidence, and I've listened to all your brilliant interviews. Obviously, the most notable would be with Joe Rogan, where you got him to read the Book of Enoch out of the Bible. And
these people are going to take this very biblically, and I find it extremely problematic that someone who is representing our U.S. government is advocating this sort of like biblical literalism and attributing it to aliens. And this is someone who works in the government. You'll see what she says. Oh my gosh, you're moving to the Yucatan. I wish I was coming with you. I love that part of the world. I don't know if I'd ever come back.
Even downloaded a whole video that I've yet to watch on this. Okay, but so it would be biblical. These UAPs going back thousands of years.
Why would it be biblical? You are insane.
Years. Trump says he's going to declassify. Hegseth says we're going to do it. I don't think anyone's going to do it. Are they going to do it?
No, I think they're very serious about doing it, and
Really?
I won't get too much into the specifics. Yeah, I definitely think that they're going to do it. You know, what's been interesting is, so obviously there's been footage that my committee released. Actually, it was Eric Burleson that released it, playing it in the...
Yeah, the footage, are we talking about the CIA footage?
Committee that we had for the declassification task force. And we can't explain that. And there has been other instances of footage that we cannot explain. And we have dealt with an agency, not the CIA, that specifically has an internal task force that is looking into all this stuff. And as soon as we get the official on paper declassification order, I want to do a press conference with all the information that we are told and shown in that briefing, because it's important.
Show me the aliens. I want to see the aliens. Can I see the aliens, Miss Luna, please?
For people to know. But, you know, the federal government's never going to tell you, you know, if they can't explain something, first of all, they're likely not going to admit it, right? But this aspect of, I think that we're the only life form in a, you know, however big and wide this universe.
I don't know if anybody's saying there's a very big difference between discovering life and intelligent intergalactic faring life. Those are two different, completely different claims.
Verse I think is kind of maybe a little bit short-sighted.
Of course.
Especially being that, you know, they're looking for microbes. As Avi Loeb says, if you're looking for microbes, you know, on a distant planet, that's like looking for dust out of your front door. Why?
They're going to re-declassify them, Spooky, and then they'll classify them again and declassify them.
You're not looking for the person that lives in the house. And I think that there has been aspects...
It's weird to assume that because you find dust that somebody lives in the house.
This does get into kind of the spiritual discussion and
there should not be any kind of spiritual discussion when it comes to intelligence about extraterrestrial life. There should be no spiritual approach to that.
You know, if you believe in angel and demons or what constitutes that. But yeah, I definitely think that there's some interesting stuff there. And I definitely will tell you that I was with Congressman Matt Gaetz and Tim Burchett at Eglin Air Force Base. We were denied access. We got into an actual fight with the base.
You got denied access to an Air Force base because you're not military personnel?
Commander, he got up in the middle of our congressional delegation, which never happens. I'm a vet. I've never seen this happen. And left to go on TDY, left in the middle of the meeting and went to Georgia and never came back. And then we were able to finally get one of the pilots in. I had the pilot sketch what he saw. We also saw some other stuff.
So it was based on a drawing from a pilot.
And we can't explain it. And the initial reason why we went up there is because we had pilots that came forward to Congressman Gates' office saying that the Air Force was covering up UAP activity.
Right.
And that's not the only...
Well, I mean, they're keeping UAP activity, which is generally considered to be drones, classified. I think that's something we've always done. That's kind of the same thing that happened with the stealth bombers and the black triangles. mean that the U.S. has that the U.S. has information on alien life. It has UAPs, unidentified flying object. That means that somebody at some point saw something flying and asked somebody else, "Hey, do you know what that is?" And they said, "Nah, man." And that was it. It could have been a bird, a plane, freaking balloon. That's all. They're all UAPs. UAP is not synonymous with alien life.
Only time we've been denied access, which is concerning because you have this oversight aspect that you're a duly elected member of Congress and that you should be providing oversight for the American people, and that you have these programs and people and organizations operating outside the purview and authority of the federal government. That's not okay. And so, yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Well, there have been claims that we have biologics. If this is declassified, do we see those things? Or
I don't think, I followed up on we have asked questions or try to get at least as far as we can get on the.
What biologics? That's just, where did you pull that from? That's just rumor, I assume. I am an aura.
Whole aspect of biologics, but.
Amber is the color of my energy.
What's been interesting is a lot of people that we will follow up with either end up ghosting us or don't come into the skiff. But then you have the aspects of some of the stuff that we have seen, and every single member of Congress that has gone into that.
This is like the pretty standard breakdown of how any kind of paranormal or supernatural investigation goes. People ghosted you and stuff. It's really weird that now the government's doing it and it's like national news.
Briefing that we had has come out and said, Steve Mellings were like, holy shit.
Wow.
So yeah, so there's some interesting stuff. You're definitely going to see a lot of interesting footage, a lot of photos, firsthand accounts from certain people that will be out in those reports. And then the American people can decide. If you think that it's, nothing, you want to carry on, fine. But, I don't think that that's going to be what the general consensus will be.
It certainly seems like that won't be the case. And you're hearing about service people who've been injured by some aspect of these craft and are not getting the care they need.
Injured by alien or by UAPs, or assuming Jillian thinks they're demons. Remember, Jillian thinks UFOs are demons. UAPs are demons.
Famously, I actually watched that on Tucker, and it's been verified. Not famously, I've watched that on Tucker, and it's been.
She believes what's on Tucker, of course.
Verified in other interviews, where it was actually Tucker and Rogan. So let me correct that. That service people have been injured by these UAPs, but they're not getting the care they need because it's.
They also got injured by the Kandahar giant. Like, soldiers were actually killed by a giant with a big wooden spear, if you believe every conspiracy theory out there. What's your point, Jillian?
Like, the whole thing doesn't exist, I guess. So, would these people get the care they need? Like, what do we get when this comes out? Do you think we get everything? Like, what do we get? Or is it?
I think you're going to get a lot of cool stuff, but okay. I don't think that there's going to be ever the full admission from the federal government telling you what to believe, right? So, like, they'll release it, but they're not going to tell you
what it is. Okay. What to make of it, okay. Last question on this one. Last question on this one. You suggested that you think it's interdimensional, or it has been suggested to you it's interdimensional versus intergalactic. What I took away from that is that, these things have always been here. They didn't
interdimensional.
Travel here from some faraway place in space and time that we couldn't.
They folded space, like you do see it, like they do in all the sci-fi movies, and they talk about wormholes where they fold the paper in half and poke the note through it. That's how the aliens are doing it.
Perceived them previously because they were able to travel in and out of dimensions our senses do not allow us to perceive.
That's the thing, yeah. Tucker Carlson's whole shtick is being like perpetually confused.
Is there any reason that you think it's that versus another galaxy far, far away, Star Wars kind of stuff?
Yeah. Based on some stuff that we came across in one of our briefings, and then also too based on witness testimony, specifically refusing to call it anything but interdimensional, and then also too I have my personal reasons for believing that.
I understand. Okay.
Her religious reasons. All
right, I appreciate that. Last question, and I want to ask you this because, of course, everybody on the left is going to use it to go after you. They're going to use it.
The left? What the fuck does the left and right have to do with alien UFOs and UAPs and government cover?
Go after Trump. Jerome Powell. This guy's done in April. And he was referred to the DOJ, right, for this, what is it, $2.5 billion renovation on the Fed. Why do we care, though? He's gone.
All right. We don't, that's not even to do with any of this. All right. So that's the UFO stuff. All right. So apparently, Rep. Luna, Paulina Luna, has decided that that there's demons and is using government money, using taxpayer money to investigate what she believes to be demons attacking the U.S. Air Force. I kid you not. This is the world we live in 2026. While we have a predator ring running our country, we also have evangelical people helming our scientific investigations into the depths of the universe. This is a problem, an absolute problem. So, yeah, we're going to wrap the show right there. It's been an hour. The intentions are to keep this show tight and under an hour so that all the segments are between 10 and 20 minutes. So, let us reflect on what we've covered today. We had we had the Bigfoot, the Capturing Bigfoot documentary stuff that's still going and tearing that Bigfoot community unsundered. We had the time traveling Trumps. And then we had Dak, the Bigfoot body from the Adirondacks, and we wrapped things up with more craziness from the UFO files. So, yeah, let me know in the comments down below how you feel and what you think of what we've talked about today. These will come out as individual segments at the over the weekend, generally speaking. Anyway, be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.
Satanism. To most, it conjures images of medieval black masses or sinister deeds done to the devil. Must expose all the evil being done. And they